Ni hao, and good day from wonderful Qingdao. We are thrilled to welcome you to day one of racing here at the Hare Grand Prix of Qingdao, China, brought to you by the UIM-ABP and F1 H2O Racing, sponsored by Hare. Today we welcome our cohort of talented riders from all over the world to the fair sailing city of Qingdao. We are fortunate to have these guys play host to us this year, allowing us to enjoy her serenity, culture, and seaside charm. Qingdao is home to legendary Qingdao beer, as well as home appliance electronics giant Hare, our title sponsor for this GP. In just a few moments, our qualifiers for the pole positions begin for both men's and ladies ski GP1 and for freestyle today. Our runabout pole position qualifiers will take place tomorrow. Good luck to all of our talented riders as they battle it out for prime starting position here at Aquabike's Hare Grand Prix of Qingdao. So a little bit of change of pace as we get ready to go on this overcast afternoon in this beautiful seaside port, one of the third largest seaside ports in all of China. And we have a bit of a change on qualifying. In the past, when you have watched qualifying for the UIM-ABP Aquabike Tour, what we have done is fastest times to get the riders to the pole positions for tomorrow. However, things have changed for this afternoon as we have got some interesting conditions here at this beautiful area where we are going to have to work against the tide. And because of that, we are going to be doing a little bit change up on this qualifying. First thing you want to look at this afternoon is this lineup of lady riders. We have 15 out on the line. And what they're going to be doing is going at an 8-minute qualifying plus one lap versus that 15 minutes of pole position where they went for the fastest laps to get their pole lineup for tomorrow. Now, how they got here today was a random drawing during the riders' briefing this morning at 11 a.m. And on that riders' briefing, we had two riders that are going to be getting the super lucky draw. It is Estelle Prix on boat number 96, who will have that inside pole position. And it is going to be boat number 64, and that is Yasmin Prowse on the outside pole position. And you've got the perfect line there as you see these ladies firing up the boats and getting ready to go for this 8-minute qualifier. And they're off, and a fantastic start for Virginie Morales on boat number 7 on the inside. Big start for both sides of this qualifier. And as we see who's going to be getting this pole position in the hole shot on this very first moto, I've got to say, great to have Krista Uzar back in the saddle, and she looks like she's going to be the first one coming through on that inside split. Krista Uzar out after a training session first couple of weeks just prior to the start of the UIM-ABP Aquabike World Tour. And she broke her ankle. This is her first opportunity to be back out on the track. And very excited for that young lady in the Latvian tent. That is your defending world champion in the GP women's ski. And it does look like Krista Uzar with the hole shot coming out of that inside split. Jonna Borgström in second place, and it's Estelle Prix in third. Yasmin E. Prowse up in that mix. Emanelli Ortendahl in fourth. Estelle Prix is in third.
We had two skis broken before the session. One was not even if it missed us.
It's actually Sophie Borgström, who was lined up. Sophie was actually lined up on that outside split. She came through in that second place spot. So Estelle Prix in third, but the whole shot goes to Krista Uzar, and then Sophie came in from that outside split to take second, and Estelle Prix in third. That's how our start line worked when they came off of the start. So great to have Krista Uzar, your defending world champion, back in the saddle, and that is the young lady that you're watching aboard boat number 96. And already we've got some challenging happening. It's Emanelli Ortendahl who is making a run at Estelle Prix. Emanelli Ortendahl on boat number 98. Multiple world champion on the UIM-ABP Tour, and she is aboard QB1. That's Quentin Bosch's setup that she has been racing so successfully this year. And Estelle Prix, who is currently in third, holding her off for that third place position. And Estelle's going to go to that outside split. And you get the opportunity to see these guys as they come through, and also an opportunity for us watching to get the first chance to see what the times are on these laps for these young ladies. And a beautiful set of turns for Estelle Prix. And she is going to have to be pretty quick through that outside split. And she does hold off Emanelli Ortendahl, but she gets around Sophie Borgstrom, and it looks like Emanelli Ortendahl also trying to set up Sophie Borgstrom, see if she can get around thus far. Sophie up in third. Krista Uzar just came across on the first lap. 4:03.13 for her time, and you can see Emanelli Ortendahl setting up Sophie Borgstrom, and she too sneaks around. That moves Emanelli Ortendahl into third place. Second place, Estelle Prix, 4:06.95, and Emanelli on that one was a 4:09.82. Sophie with a 4:11 on lap number one. Going to be an 8-minute moto. We're already 4 minutes in, so this is going to be very fast on this track. You're only looking at about 3 laps for these guys for this qualifying position, and that is not a lot of time to make up ground, so that just adds emphasis on how important that start is going to be for both of these stand-up racers. You're going to have the men's class coming up next. Right now you've got women out on the water with this 8-minute qualifier plus 1 lap, and you can see not a lot of time. So we're looking at 3 solid laps, possibly 4 laps for these guys before they get into qualifying. Emanelli Ortendahl starting to put some pressure on Krista Uzar, and that was the battle that we really wanted to see at the beginning of the year, but unfortunately fate and a tricky accident with that ankle cost Krista Uzar the chance to come back and strongly defend that world title. So she now is going to be the spoiler this afternoon, and for the rest of these races in this tour, you've still got 4 days of great racing here in Qingdao, China. The Grand Prix of China here in beautiful Qingdao. Emanelli Ortendahl, pressure on as she sneaks it around Estelle Prix. Don't count Estelle out, by the way. The points coming into this incredibly tight. Emanelli with the lead with 150 points, giving her a 28-point separation between Jonna Borgstrom, boat number 25, and Estelle Prix only 4 points away from Jonna for that second place. That's what your podium looks like thus far. Emanelli, Jonna, and Estelle coming into this third round. And already you can see our race director, Marco Petrini, as he gets the white flag ready to go. We are 6.5 minutes in to the first qualifier, and you can see the angry-looking sky in the background. We had rain this morning with temperatures around 50s, low 50s and upper 60s, and right now the hunt between Krista Uzar and Emanelli Ortendahl to see who's going to grab that pole position for tomorrow's first set of motos. Last lap, 2:43. We'll just do so it's 2:43.02 for Krista Uzar on that last lap, and a 2:37 for Emanelli Ortendahl, your second place rider, 2:37. So a good 6 seconds faster on that last lap. Estelle Prix with a 2:42.57. That's how your top 3 riders are shaping up as we get ready for the white flag. White flag, theoretically, depending on how fast they come through, more than likely going to be showing up for that very next lap. And Krista Uzard wanting to put some points on the board for this World Championship Tour. Her first opportunity to be back aboard that boat. Now, when these guys go on this tour, those boats are put in crates and shipped around the world on the different tour spots. So it's the first time that Krista's had an opportunity to be on her race boat in the past 8 months. Been riding her backup boats back at home, and she entered a couple of local competitions just a couple of weeks ago, and it's the first chance that she's really had an opportunity to ride on that rehabbed ankle. Eminelli Ortendahl, however, has come on strong. She won not last year, but the year before that, taking the world title, and she is aboard Quentin Bosch's equipment, and she's been working that QB1 boat all year this year. And look how tight she takes that turn as she comes in. That was a lot of pressure on Krista Uzar, who probably is playing it somewhat safe here. Krista Uzar going to be mowing through that outside split, and let's see what happens. Krista and Eminelli Ortendahl are going to be head-to-head in the split section. Eminelli going to the inside, Krista on the outside split. And Krista looked like she's in some traffic. And Eminelli Ortendahl comes right out of that in the lead. Eminelli setting up as a lap rider, moves over for him, and she is your new leader as we get ready for the white flag to come up. Perfect timing for this young lady, Eminelli Ortendahl, on boat number 98, your new leader in this 8-minute qualifier. All right, the final lap is up. Eminelli had a perfect score this year, and wow, what a tight run between 3rd, 4th, and 5th. Emma on that one had a 2.3706 on that lap. It was Krista Uzar with a 2.4207 and Estelle Perret with a 2.4257 in 3rd. Yasmin E. Prouse with a 2.4079 in 4th. Sophie Borgstrom with a 2.4847. And Jonna Borgstrom, the young lady that was in 2nd coming into this, is in 6th with a 2.4564. That's how your lineup's going to be tomorrow on who's going to get to pick. And that's what we're battling for right now, these pole positions. Thank you for joining us for the Hare Grand Prix of Qingdao, China. It's our very first series of qualifiers. We're going to have men's coming up next, men's ski. And you can see going out towards the Yellow Sea, that is Eminelli Ortendahl on boat 98. She won all 3 motos in Portimao earlier this year, and then came back in Olbia that next week and took all 3 of those wins as well. Got to hand it to the Borgstroms, though. Not only have they been training all year, Eminelli Ortendahl, Jonna Borgstrom, and Sophie Borgstrom, and Janina Johansson have all been training together. And you can certainly see that with Sophie Borgstrom almost getting that whole shot in that very first lap. Great run for that young lady, and her sister Jonna Borgstrom currently 2nd up in points. Janina Johansson, who made a big splash last year for her first debut race here on the UIM-ABP World Championship Tour. And she, too, is having a pretty darn good run today. She's currently in 11th. She had a 2.5870 for her fast time yesterday. Long shot of this horizontally laid out track. And you had that double red, and then they get the checkered flag as she comes through. That's going to be Eminelli Ortendahl taking the win on the first race of the day, or first pole qualifying session of the day. Krista Uzar with the 2nd. And it's going to be Estelle Perret with that third place spot. All right, great job for this lady. She has had a ton of choices to make the last couple of years. So Eminelli had been aboard Chris Hagest's pro watercraft boat called the Pro Force. And now she's taking a win on QB1. We'll be right back right after this message. And welcome back to the Grand Prix of Qingdao, right here in China. And we're getting a chance to get the reaction from Eminelli Ortendahl, who just took that win. You can see her sneaking up and giving Sophie Borgstrom a hug. These girls have been out practicing all year and training all year together. And that team effort has made a big difference for all four of these riders. You can see Lisa Kassan Battaglia just in that background. Lisa, by the way, finished up in 7th today. Here's a rundown. Eminelli Ortendahl with the win, Krista Uzar 2nd, Estelle Perret 3rd, Sophie Borgstrom in 4th, Jana Borgstrom moved up into 5th after a 7th place start, Jessica Chavon was 6th, Lisa Kassan Battaglia in 7th, Virginia Morales in 8th, Yasmin E. Prouse in 9th, Joanna Grassa in 10th place. Kylie Elmers, by the way, after going out during the free practice, chose not to line up on the qualifier for today. She's actually riding the very same boat that Nacho Armias is going to be aboard, and so she chose not to go into the qualifier, allowing Nacho Armias to have a little bit fresher boat. That's a lot of motos to be putting on one boat. So Nacho Armias is going to be coming at us for the first time after a 2-year hiatus and another fracture that we had to deal with. So great to have her back, or excuse me, great to have Nacho back as well. Can't really start talking about the men's racing until we talk about that point lead that Kevin Redder has coming into this third round. 53 points is what we're looking at between Kevin Redder and the rest of the pack. So a great job for that victory team in the first 2 rounds this year in Italy. And Kevin, of all of the classes, is the one to beat today. He is going to have an opportunity here to do a shutout. If he gets another 22 points on the board, he will be able to lock down that title and the world title championship if he is able to get that 22-point separation during this weekend. He's the only rider able to do that full lockout. We'll get the first opportunity to see how he's doing and how that boat is going in just a few minutes. In your ski division, we've got 18 riders in the men's class today. All right, and we just got an update that Nacho Armias actually is going to be out of the qualifying, not from any injury. He's actually got an electrical problem with the boat. So pole position for today After that random draw this morning, it's going to be Axel Courtois on the inside position. He is going to have the pole position on that inside. And it is going to be Tian Zhao from China with a pole position on the outside split. And you get your long shot there of the riders. You can see that Kevin Redder is going to be lining up on the inside, as well as Anders Keller and Stian Schvetlein, and also Dan Anderson. And Barnabas Zabo on boat number 28. So quite a few changes today. We had a beach start for this. And you are watching the tide right now is high, and in that tide we're looking at about 2.8 meters, and a great start for Stian Schvetlein on boat number 2. Go Fast Girello, Chris Girello from Go Fast helped him put that boat together this year. It's Commander Industries Hall. And a fantastic start for Stian Schvetlein. Stian currently in 6th in the points coming into this third round. And as they did that big sweeper turn, it's going to be the victory boat on Kevin Redderer, and that boat is going to be going to the inside split. Kevin Redderer, an official hole shot. All right, so Kevin Redderer goes to the inside and gets the hole shot. Stian Schvetlein in second place. Going to be Ulrich Bernsen in third. And Dan Anderson in a fight for fourth place. Back in fifth. It's going to be Barnabas Zabo in fourth. Your top 3 riders on the points: Kevin Redderer, Dan Anderson, and Barnabas Zabo as they came in at round number 3. Axel Courtois in 4th place, and Anders Keller rounding out your top 5. On the screen, with the exception of first, we got a bit of a shake-up here as we do another 8-minute pole qualifying session. So it's 8 minutes plus a lap, with Kevin Redderer currently leading. And you can see that Kevin has the red bib, and that signifies on the UIM-ABP Grand Prix of Qingdao that is your current points leader. They're the only ones allowed to wear the red bibs, so if you come into this round and you have the points lead, that is a distinct honor that you have. You can see Kevin currently wearing that. Stian Schvetlein about 4 seconds off that pace as we get ready to go with our first opportunity to put some times on the board for you. Stian Schvetlein on boat number 2, that boat that Girello put together for him. And it is Barnabas Zabo that was up in that third place spot. Anders Keller was in 4th. Let's see how it shakes out as they come out of that split section. Kevin Redderer still leading. Kevin, by the way, went to the outside split after that first lap start, and he is still leading. He's actually starting to open up that gap between him and second place, Stian Schvetlein. Ulrich Bernson in third, boat number 83, is your third place rider. Ulrich also out of Norway. And then you have 88, Dan Anderson in fourth, and Barnabas Zabo in fifth out of that split section. Stian Svetlin said at the beginning of the year it's going to take a little bit to get used to this new boat that he has been riding. Chris Girello had been working very hard on that boat, and Stian was out a little bit earlier and had visited Chris Girello out in Lake Havasu. That's where Chris's shop is located, and they did several testings on a new boat that they had been working on. Stian's boat that he is aboard has also been on a tour. Coming into this, he had a 12th, 8th, and a 5th place finish in Portimao, and then a 14th, 5th, and a 3rd place finish. His best was that 3rd place podium on the final moto in Olbia, Italy, earlier this year, currently put him in 6th. He had a crazy position on the start. He was second from the far outside on the inside split, and that's one of the toughest areas on the starting grid to get a hole shot, and yet his start when they dropped that flag was perfect. Great run for him, and that gave him that second right behind Kevin Redder going into that start line. Or excuse me, going into that first series of motos. That's Dan Anderson on boat number 88, the Crazy Eights. Dan had a great run this year. His best finishes ever in Portimao, a 2nd, 3rd, and a 2nd. And Olbia had a few more problems. Ended up with a 10th, 17th, and a 6th in Olbia. Came with 94 points into this round, putting him in 2nd place. Gentleman closest to him is Barnabas Zabo out of Hungary on boat number 28. And he's only 5 points off of Dan Anderson, and that is your first chance to get a good close-up look of Barnabas Zabo out of Hungary. Here's our times. Redder with a 2:28.36, your race leader. And Stian Svetlin just came across that checkered, those two buoys with a 2:36.98. Ulrich Bernson with a 2:35.50. Ulrich on boat number 83. Ulrich, by the way, is in 8th place coming into this round with 62 points. And Barnabas Zabo on that first lap with a 2:42.04. Just looking for the total time here. And we already have 7 minutes, 22 seconds on the clock. Again, this is an 8-minute plus 1 lap moto. Well, it's not moto, qualifier. Masaya Kanya on the live stream. Rick Ignacio also on the live stream. Want to welcome you guys. Jet Sport. Christian Grease, good morning from Germany. I see JJ Perez doing the shout out for Estelle and her race. Holden Stockman has also joined us. Yeah, the tide is in. We're going to need just a little bit more water for runabouts. Julian Osborne, good to see you, bud. Emma Gadsby, hello. And Beat Bergman, you're very welcome. Chayan Singarai. And Amanda Karasek has also joined. Manny, not here. Molly Fern, you're supposed to be out on the water, young lady. Chowlik Kujaroon also signed on. Omat Sali. And Diogo Barbosa has also signed in. Barry Gibson also on the live feed. Thanks for joining us. Stian Svetline is currently filling up your screen as we go into 8 minutes and 50 seconds, which means we are on the white flag. Final lap for your top riders in the points run. It's Kevin Redder coming into this with 150 points. He has a 53-point lead. He has the opportunity of all these classes to be the only one to do a shutout this weekend. If he could put more of these points on the board, he needs 22. Kevin Redder with a 2:28.36 on this lap. Stian Svetline with a 2:36.98. And Ulrich Bernsen with a 2:35.50. Nice turn for Kevin Redder as he makes his way through the left-hand side of the track. They've got a couple of very interesting elbow turns, and that was one of them that you saw him negotiate. That victory boat cutting through some of the big chop out here. You're watching the race action aboard the victory team boat that Chris Wilkinson has been working on all year. Stian Svetline, the rider that you can see in the foreground. 10 minutes and 11 seconds on the clock. Now, the way our schedule is going to work is we're going to take a quick break, and then we're going to be coming back to the freestyle qualifying. The first qualifying that you'll be seeing for Runabout will happen tomorrow. Nice setup on that turn as Kevin Redder starts to set this up for cruise control. Goes to the outside split. Aziz Rahman. Aziz was asking about the rider numbers. Boat number 90 is Kevin Redder. By the way, hi, Aaron Jones. So that 9-0 that you see, and that is your race leader as well as your points leader. And you can see the red bib indicating that he is your current points leader, Kevin Redder. Rider out of Austria. And the checker flag comes up for Kevin Redder. With the exception of a second place finish in the first moto in Olbia, he has had a picture-perfect run this year. And that qualifier putting forth the perfect statement of ready to rumble. Going to be Ulrich Bernsen coming through in second, and Stian Svetline actually Stian was second, no change on that, and Ulrich Bernsen for third. Again, your times. Kevin Redder 2:28.36 on the last lap. Stian Svetline with the 2:36.80, and that was your second place rider as well. And then your third place rider, Ulrich Bernsen from Norway as well. He had a 2:35.50. So Austria, Norway is how the finishes looked for the pole position. And it is going to be Anderson for fourth, 2:37.89. Barnabas Szabo for fifth with a 2:42.04. Marcus Lutzekert with the sixth with a 2:40.48. Axel Courtois in seventh with a 2:40.78. So while we wait for the free practice, we're actually going to bring some of our riders over here to do some interviews. Get the opportunity to catch up with some of the points leaders, and hopefully with Krista Uzar as well. You can see that we've had rain showers this morning, still continuing in with those showers this afternoon. Aziz, I do want to let you know that we will be having the rider numbers up for you tomorrow, as well as we'll have the postcards up for the different riders on the setup for tomorrow. I also want to do a shout out for Jules Hopkins, who just joined us, and also get the opportunity to catch up with our current points leader and our qualifier that just took the win in the ladies ski GP. Well, hello, Emanuele Ortendahl.
Hello, Dawn.
How are you today?
I'm actually pretty well right now because of the results of the qualifying, you know.
Here's what's great about you. You'd be well regardless, I've noticed. Tell me about that QB1 boat. How are you liking the opportunity to ride Quentin Bosch's combination for 2019?
Well, I am enjoying that boat a lot, and the riding that I did right now, it felt great. And like the waves and the shop that is out on the track right now, it suits the boat and the setup and my riding really well. So it's just like everything has come together now, and I was so happy to be able to do this result and show off all the team's effort and the great work. And every hour we put in, it shows, and I'm really happy about that. And me and my dad, we're very proud here.
So I know you've put in a ton of training in 2019. What's it like riding in the Yellow Sea? Are these race conditions different than what we dealt with in Italy?
Yeah, I would say this is not the same as in Italy. This is another type of race, and also with the current and the time water going up and down, it's such a special location to be in, and you just need to come here and adapt to the situation and do what you can, because we had some struggles yesterday, but we solved it out now, and the ski's running great. So I'm just very happy to be here and got the win, you know. Of course I'm happy.
I was going to say, yeah, that's not bad. Must have been kind of fun to get an opportunity to see Krista Uzar back out on the track.
Oh, yeah.
Great chance to see you two battling it out. How did it feel for you?
Well, it felt great, you know. It was so exciting because I came out in fourth place. I kind of missed the start. That was on me.
Were you sleeping?
I was on my training watch, and I was like, am I going to start a workout right now? And then, like, the start is going, and I was like, oh, shit. And all the girls were off, and I was like, oh, my God, this is not the way to...
Well, you certainly made up for that well. I love your authenticity.
You know, I wouldn't be... I would have, if I didn't make it up, I think I just would have gone out on the sea instead of coming back in again, because that would have been good.
I'm just not coming back, Dad.
At least it was the qualifying and not a moto, so I learned my lesson. I'm not going to do that again. I'll be more prepared tomorrow.
Well, it's a great chance to train, and certainly turned out very well for you. Congratulations, Emanuele Ortendahl, taking the win in that qualifying.
Thank you so much, Dawn.
You're welcome. Can't wait to see you tomorrow.
Yeah, I'll be back.
All right, go get warm.
Yeah.
All right. We are here with our winner in the ladies class. Up next is going to be the gentleman that's currently your points winner and the only individual that's got an opportunity to do a KO. And that's a complete knockout if he grabs another 22 points before the end of this weekend. I'm here with Kevin Redder, who just took the win. How you doing, sir?
I'm doing very good.
Yeah, it's good to see you. How did the boat feel?
The boat felt really good, but more, I love the conditions out there. Just puts a smile on my face, and can ride out there until the fuel runs out.
So I noticed it got a little crazy in the riders' meeting today because we had to pick numbers randomly to be where you were going to get to be on the line. I noticed you chose the inside, but not as close to the pole position. Tell me a little bit about your choice and why you went to the inside.
We weren't sure. Actually, it was like you could win or lose. So we didn't know which hole shot was faster in or outside, which we would prefer. And I know my ski isn't one with the biggest top speed, so we went the safe way and chose the inside with more turns and where I could make up. And it worked out well. So it was a gamble, but it worked out.
So we've talked about this a little bit in the past. When Chris Wilkinson put together this combination for you, you guys consciously chose, we don't want to have the most violent, fastest boat out on the water. But what did you look for in that combination for 2019?
We've been working quite a lot on just getting used to the ski, and then that I can ride to my fullest potential on my ski. And then Chris starts to develop on the engine, on the speed factor, the pumps and stuff. So yeah, we're not looking for the most violent setup out there, because we know also not the fastest setup is going to win, but it's definitely can make your life a lot easier in some situations.
Good point.
Yeah, but luckily with those conditions, you don't need to be the fastest ski to win.
All right, so I've got to ask for the secret sauce here. What do you do in between these multiple months when you're having to wait to come to this next round? How are you training?
Oh wow, that was some difficult months. The last 2 months, we're just so looking forward to get back on the ski, get back racing, and it's a big relief just to be here. So for me, this month I had a lot going on the first couple of months of the year, so it was cool to just take a break. Went off to ski completely for a month and 1.5 months. Just did other sports. Went mountain biking with the crew. Had a good time. Did just alternative sports to just not only do these kind of sports and the specific training for this. So it was kind of my off season. And now the last 4 weeks I just got back on the ski. Hard training in the gym, and yeah, pays off.
Well, nice job, and I love how you air quoted the off season. All right, it was great talking to you and having a good chance to catch up. Congratulations again, winning the qualifier.
Thank you.
Hopefully get a chance to talk to you more.
Also good to see you again.
Oh, thank you so much, sir.
Thank you.
All right, that was Kevin Redder and Emanelli Ortendahl, and we're going to go back and take a quick look as we get ready for pre-practice for the runabout. This is not going to be their qualifying yet. We're actually going to do that qualifying tomorrow. As you can tell, we've had a lot of challenges with the tide this weekend, and that has been part of it while we are on such a tight schedule. You are watching the Grand Prix of Qingdao, China, and we are so privileged to be out here, but man, the weather has been offering up some good challenges for those guys. A little bit colder, making those boats pretty snappy, fun qualifying opportunities for us. We've watched the ladies and the guys so far. Hopefully we'll get a chance to see how fast these runabouts are, too, in free practice, although I doubt they're going to open them all the way. Don't go away, though. We're also going to be watching qualifying for freestyle, and that is going to include our current points leader, Rashid Al-Mullah, as he makes his way to the stage this afternoon right here on the Yellow Sea, one of the largest seaports in China, right here in Qingdao.